Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Ramblings. I am in my wrestling corner. We are going to talk some wrestling. As always, please hit the like button on the video below and subscribe if you want to see some more of my content. Help me out a little bit and spread the wrestling love, if you will. Instead of the usual highlights today, I think we're going to do some Bash at Berlin predictions and talk a little bit about wrestling this week, but less highlight focused for sure. Bash at Berlin is tomorrow over in Berlin, Germany. Their first, I think, maybe ever, PLE or big PLE. I know they've had tours over there. So I am excited. I watched a little bit of the kickoff show this morning and the crowd was hot. So I'm really hoping that that crowd tomorrow is just as hot. With that said, let's get into these predictions. First match, Unholy Union, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, your WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, versus Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. I think the winner here is going to be Jade and Bianca. I really like that the women's tag titles are being featured on this PLE. They feel a little forgotten about. The tag team division in general in WWE feels forgotten about. I like that this is happening on a fairly widely featured PLE. I'm excited for it. I think Alba and Isla have had kind of a lackluster run to no fault of their own. I love them. I think they are great. I think they had a great moment at Clash at the Castle, and I'm kind of bummed that we haven't seen more of them. But I do think Jade and Bianca might take this back here. I think there's a lot to be written in the Jade and Bianca story, and I think that this win here might start a bigger story for them. All speculation. We'll see what happens. I do think that they could have a feud down the line, and I think winning the tag titles could be the first step in delivering that to us. They're huge stars, and I'm kind of thrilled to see where that might go next. But I think it starts here with a win over Alba and Dawn to become the new tag team champions. Match number 2, well, not match number 2 on the card, but match number 2 that we're going to predict here. The Terror Twins, Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley versus Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan, your women's champion. I do think the Terror Twins are going to take the win here. I think this isn't over. This rivalry is probably going to last a little bit longer. I think endgame for Damian might be Finn. I don't think we've seen the last of Liv and Rhea together, or having matches together. I think there's going to be some fun spots in this match. I think we could see some Rhea a la China Dom finish, which could be really cool. I would really like to see that, actually. So that is what I want to see out of this match. But I do think we see a Terror Twins win here. I think Liv and Dom have kind of gotten the best of Damian and Rhea a little too much. And I think a nice Terror Twins going over and just kind of prolonging this a little longer, and then kind of going off into their opposite directions maybe after this. Maybe Damian and Rhea, while always together, are gonna kind of have their own separate feuds after this. I'm not 100% sure there, but I do think that that's who we see winning this match. Dom and his chicken tendies are going back to the States a loser, and I'm okay with it. Match number 3 is your WWE champion Gunther versus Randy Orton. For the most part, I think this is a fairly predictable card, although, listen, WWE throws the swerve in there every once in a while, so you never know. But I think the winner here is going to be Gunther. I think they've built this match really well, though. I think they've made Randy a plausible threat. He was on his own, but I think they've made him a really plausible threat here. He is a 14-time champion, a ridiculous amount of championships, if you will. I think winning one more is a great story, especially after his, 18-month absence with such a crazy injury. But I just don't see Gunther dropping the belt after basically a month of being champion or in Berlin. I think we see a longer run from him, a more dominant run from him. And while Randy is a formidable opponent and they've built him to be an even bigger threat than Randy Orton as a wrestler already is, I do think Gunther takes home the win here in Berlin tomorrow. Next match on the card, KO versus Cody Rhodes. This is a curious one for me. I think the winner is obvious. I think Cody Rhodes takes home the win here. I don't see that going any other way. There's a lot more story to tell with the bloodline, and I think the championship is involved in that in some way. So I think Cody Rhodes retains. I think the bigger questions here are what kind of interference or impact do the bloodline or Timu bloodline, they're not the real bloodline, have on this match. Solo, Jacob, Tama Tonga, Tongaloa, are they involved? Do they somehow cause a disqualification so that maybe KO does win, but by disqualification? And this is Cody's first super close call. I'm not sure. The other big question with this match is definitely, does KO turn heel, or could he turn heel here? I think people thought it might happen before, or speculated it might happen before. He's leaning that way, certainly, with his promos and almost hitting him with the belt, or looking like he was going to hit him with the belt on SmackDown. That little tease, they've done a nice job of teasing this potential heel turn from KO, who always borderlines on that heel turn. But will we see it? Will we see it in match? Will we see it after the match? Will we see it next week on SmackDown? I'm not sure. Will we see it at all? I think KO is one of the funniest, most self-aware characters in WWE. The fact that he just calls out all the WWE cliches over and over and over again, just breaking the fourth wall, is great. And it's so unintentionally funny, or maybe it's intentionally funny, but some of what he says is, I think, unintentionally hilarious. But heel KO is just at the top of his game. And maybe I'm just itching to have him back, and that's why I think that's where we're going here. But I really, really would love to see KO heel turn out of this match, or as a result of this match. It doesn't have to be at Bash at Berlin tomorrow, although I kind of think it would make this match more interesting and give it another layer of fun, especially given all the little hints and teases that we've gotten along the way. We'll see what happens on SmackDown tonight. Well, I guess it's technically already happening in Berlin, but and how that might affect my opinion going into tomorrow. But Cody Rhodes with the win. I don't know how it happens. I don't know if Bloodline interferes, but I definitely think we could see a KO heel turn, or the real brink of a KO heel turn here, and I am here for it. Next match on the card is Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk in a strap match, and a traditional strap match at that. They are going to be attached to each other at the wrist, and they will have to touch all four corners with their opponent incapacitated in order to win the match. I definitely think we see a little bit more violence and fun out of this, especially with the strap involved. This rivalry is heated. I loved their SummerSlam match. I know it got mixed reviews, but I really loved it. I thought the referee, Seth being the referee there, was a really fun addition to that match. But I think this one-on-one pure hatred for each other with a weapon is going to be a lot of fun. I do think that this sets up a rubber match at Bad Blood. I'd love to see a Hell in the Cell match between these two. Would love to see it. I don't know if that's what we're getting. I don't know if that's just where my brain has gone, because that's what I really want, and the expectation is there. I do think Punk takes this one. I think it's a nice way to give Punk a clean win, but no pinfall on Drew. And I think that truly sets up the rubber match between the two of them. Drew has one win, Punk has one win. We gotta find out who's the better man in the end. They gotta go for the best out of three here. And I think that happens at Bad Blood, and I think it could happen at Hell in a Cell. But your winner here is CM Punk, and I'm actually super excited to see this. This is highly anticipated for me. This feud is one of the best built feuds in wrestling right now. I'm not sure that it gets much better storyline wise. Punk is telling a great story. Drew is magnificent in everything that he's doing right now, on TV, off TV, the YouTube, the TikTok, the videos online. He is just next level, getting a lot of creative freedom, and I'm loving the direction that all of this has gone in, and I kind of can't wait to see where it goes next, which is why I love to speculate. The more I love the storyline that we're involved in, the more I can't help but speculate about what might be next and what we might get to see next. So I think those are your winners at Bash in Berlin. I think we have new champions in Jade and Bianca. I think Gunther retains. I think Cody retains. I think Punk gets the win over Drew, setting up their next match at Bad Blood, and I think the Terror Twins are victorious. I also saw right before I went on this video live that they finally released a Terror Twins shirt. I am currently running to the WWE shop, well, after I finish this, to purchase that. I've been waiting for that forever and ever and ever and ever, and I need it. From what I saw, I haven't seen it. I haven't looked at it in detail. It looks really cool too. So, as if it wasn't going to be really cool. Come on. Instead of our usual highlights today, I'm going to do a little segment I like to call You Love to See It. These are just things over the last week or so in wrestling that I really love to see, or that never get old. Rivalries, vintage moves, callbacks, jokes, kind of whatever I feel like talking about, but we're going to call it things I love to see. And that's what we're going to call it. Okay, number one on that list this week is Andrade and Carmelo Hayes are going to run it back this week on SmackDown. Technically already have, because of the time difference in Berlin. I will be seated tonight for this. We can do a best out of 7 between the two of them. We can do as many matches as we want. I don't know that I'll ever get tired of it. I'm excited about it. Carmelo Hayes is on a streak. I was excited for him to get called up. I am excited that he is wrestling great matches on TV, and I love Andrade. If you've been here and watched any of my other videos, you know the Andrade love runs deep with me. I love to watch him wrestle. He is one of my favorite people on SmackDown, and I am excited to see them run this back. Monday Night Raw, Drew dissecting Punk's whole promo structure had me in stitches, complete with him sitting cross-legged in the ring to do it. Just, you come out here, you sit down, you say that it's been 10 years since you've been here, you gaslight the people. It was perfect. It was perfect. He is now calling Punk a cult leader, and that we're in, the fans, we are his enablers, and if that's not just slightly close to the truth, given even his theme song, Cult of Personality, then, I don't know what is. Drew is nailing it with these promos, and this was a great one. Coupled with CM Punk going live on Instagram from under the ring before he attacked Drew from behind during that promo. These two they're so good at what they do, and they both love this. and you can tell, and it seeps into everything that they do. And like I said a few minutes ago, this feud is just everything to me right now, and I am excited for what's next in all aspects there. I did get the chance to watch the kickoff show this morning, speaking of CM Punk, and the international crowds. You'll love to see them. They are so enthusiastic. They love this. They make me love it more. They get me so emotional. But the person who kicked off the kickoff show for people who have matches was CM Punk, and they were singing every word of Cult of Personality, and I loved it. Music stopped. They continued to sing. So cool. It happens with a new song, I think, every time we do these international PLEs, and I never, ever get tired of it. Those crowds give me new life, and it's insanely awesome. Michael Cole follows that up by saying that the Punkies are better than the Swifties, and I'm going to need that on a shirt. Because damn right we are. I don't even know that I can consider myself a punky anymore, but I'm here for having Punkies are better than Swifties on any shirt, maybe with some Cult of Personality lyrics on it. Also during that segment with Punk mentioned Seth, and the crowd started to sing Seth's song. These international crowds bring it. They're always here. That was so cool to see. He's not around. He's, been off TV for a little while, written off TV with Bronson's Tsunamis and Healing Up, I hope, because I can't wait to see him back. But very cool to see them sing his song, especially at CM Punk, who just kind of stood there and had to deal with it. So super fun. That rivalry will be a lot of fun when it renews too. Speaking of Bronson Reed, the tsunami on the damn car on Monday night. I had so many thoughts. Bronson Reed is on fire. Braun Strowman looked fun. That match as a whole, so much fun. Injected so much life into the show. That spot was crazy. Crawling up onto that concrete barrier and jumping onto the car. Also made me laugh out loud because of the Punk talking about rental cars, and that's why he didn't want the Jack Perry spot, which caused all of the chaos to begin with. And it always makes me wonder if they do these things because of that chaos. And the people, especially the people in the IWC who are really into that background stuff, just I love that. I love those little things that remind me of that they may not be thinking about at all, but it brought me some amusement to think of them ruining rental cars for wrestlers for forever and ever, which is not happening. It's a spot on a car. I'm sure they work those logistics out long ahead of time, and it's not something that we have to worry about. But good on Bronson Reed. It's been great. I love seeing it. And to wrap it up, the thing that I loved to see the most this week was Bryan Danielson with wrestling gold around his waist one more time. What a solid match. What a great pay-per-view AEW put on Sunday. I don't watch a ton of AEW. I do watch it. We don't talk a ton of AEW on here. I'm just not as caught up. I'm not as regular of a viewer. I don't follow it as in depth, but I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love all wrestling. I just have been a WWE fan for my entire life, and that's generally what I focus on. But I watch it all. There are wonderful, wonderful talent in AEW, and I enjoyed that pay-per-view on Sunday, and I enjoy their product, and I won't buy into the tribalism. I refuse, and I won't. That said, Bryan Danielson, Swerve Strickland, solid. Great match. The storytelling was there. It was so emotional. Bryan's family being ringside was just such a nice touch. His kids seemed to be loving it, or, emotional with us. There were times I'm sure that they weren't loving it. Bryan Danielson is one of the greatest to ever do this, and I know everybody already thinks that, and this is not a hot take in any way. I love that he got these moments. He said it was one of the best of his career. I'm super excited for him to have had these moments, because I think there was a time a decade ago that we didn't think that he'd ever wrestle again. So, really fun. And give Swerve effing Strickland his flowers. Give him a whole garden. He's so good. He has so much charisma. He is out there killing it. He is my favorite thing, hands down, about AEW right now. Whose house? It's Swerve's. Don't you forget it. Danielson may have won the gold, and I may have loved to see it, but it is still Swerve's house. That's going to do it for me this week on Rin Ramblings. Like I said, please like and subscribe to my channel for more content. Let me know if you want to see me do specific content. I'm here for whatever. You can also follow me over on X, formerly known as Twitter and Instagram. The handle is @RinHeelLove. Come give me a follow, especially on X. I'm always over there commenting on wrestling, sometimes live tweeting. Sometimes I break from it and catch up after a show and put some posts out. But you can definitely find me there. Come give me a follow, and I will see you next time. Until then, stay weird.